Well, folks, I'm going to be pretty honest. I don't think we are going to get around to working on the truck this round, as I am working on some tools. And yeah, that's about it. So a little different. Hope you folks enjoy. In my hopes, I'm going to be building a bead roller and hopefully fixing my louver press. I think that's my plan for this round. I don't know that I know I need the bead roller for my truck, so that's a big one for me. And this thing, it'd just be cool to get it going again. All right, let's get going. Well, folks, I have been doing a bunch of stuff in the shop. It's we're gonna get to this in a bit, but anyways, take you for a tour. What I've been doing, anyways, you can actually see the workbench now. Finally, that's pretty much all cleaned up. I got that about done. We kind of stuffed some motors up top for now. I'm working on, I don't know if I mentioned that. We'll get to that thing. Over here, we got our lathe working. And pretty soon I want to just start building this bead roller, because I don't have one. And I have the parts. I think I have all the parts to make one. So I'm going to try to just build the one Karl built. That's the plan. So we got our tooling stuff there. Still got a little bit of cleanup down there to do. We've added a rack up there. And we put this shelf with, I got all the bins with these things in here, like fuel pressure tester, all that stuff. So it's kind of a lot of that stuff I would use when I'm on the hoist. So that's a good spot for it. So around here, I still got to work on this bench. I want to make it mobile. I bought some larger wheels for it, but I haven't touched that yet. The second hoist that I had a bad cylinder. I've replaced the seal in it. We've added some wheels, and then I packaged the pump, everything underneath there, and we have the controls over on the sides. So basically this is a mobile adjustable workbench, at least the way I see it. And you can see the glorious, well, it's just about, I don't know, by now Christmas is over. We're working our way into the new year here, but yeah. So we got that. I got some scraps, some stuff out of the way here. This side's starting to clean up, getting some shape. Some of this stuff's gonna go away once I finish the upstairs. Up here, we've started getting some floor bracing and stuff. I am very close to being able to put all the floor in. But we have this one so half done. And some of the other stuff is done. I got to cut and make up a bunch more of these braces. So I have a bunch that are too long. I'm just gonna narrow them up, smash them all down. Basically trying to go for like 2 foot on center for the most part. And then that's how we're going with 3/4 inch plywood on it. So I think it should be plenty. Feels fine anyways, for what I'm doing. Anyways, that's what's happening up here. That has been my, I don't know, 3 days I've been doing this. So, oh, and I got the compressor working. This sucker, we basically have a 7.5 horse on there. And I was gonna close the room in, but I don't know. The thing's actually not that loud. I'll turn it on for you folks and you can kind of see, but what else we got? I think that's really it. I've been doing a little bit of wiring, like just putting in some extra plugs and things here and there, and some switches. Like we've added some lighting up there. I think I've mentioned that before, but I put a switch here for there just because of the lathe. I just scabbed another light over there. Anyways, will it be fire the compressor up? You'll see what I mean. The thing's actually not that loud compared to a lot of compressors. That doesn't annoy me. I guess if I'm filming and it goes on, that might be annoying, but been doing a little bit of work with my iron worker pump and stuff here, but I haven't got very I think I have a bad motor. I think one of the neighbors said they had one, so I'm gonna go bug him and see if it's big enough to work that thing. Anyways, that's where we're at. I've been doing this forever and I'm kind of tired, so I take a break. Well, I was gonna shut her down, but I decided I'm gonna quickly modify my one workbench, this one, to be mobile. So it's gonna sit taller. I might be able just to screw that thing underneath, but we'll see. I'm gonna give myself 30 inches wide. I'm gonna stick these big wheels underneath there. They were on sale at Princess. They were for scaffolding, so it's got a nice lock on it and everything. So we're gonna modify that goes. We'll just give it a little bit of a sleeve so this thing can still spin around. Yeah, let's do that quick. Right? You're not happy about it because that means you can't come in the house, but hey, you want to go inside right now. In a bit. Let us finish. Well, we didn't do too bad. That took about an hour to do. I'm really happy with it. We got a monstrously high bench, or we have whatever height of a bench we want. Whatever's comfortable. And I can move it around. So you can see how it gets all splits dirty there. We can clean that out and stuff. All right. Well, all right. Now it's late, and I'm going to call it a night. All right, folks. There has not been too much action happening. Seeing how we got a lathe now, this is something I've been wanting to do for a long time and going to be necessary in the future with the box. So this is that bead roller that Karl has plans for. So if I remember, I'll put the link there Karl Fisher, Make It Custom. Anyways, I had 2 bead rollers in the old shop. I had one that was like the old Harbor Freight one that I kind of stretched. And then I had like a Milo Brothers one. Anyways, I scavenged and salvaged whatever parts I could out of it. So I got the gears and the pulleys, or the blocks, I guess you call them. I don't know. Anyways, we got those all in. I had a buddy before cut me the pattern for the bead roller, but I had no lathe, so I couldn't actually machine down these pieces. I saved you the grief. I basically was doing that all last night, just cutting, getting these all set up that we can still slip on the style of, well, this is like the Harbor Freight dies. And I got a lot of them. I did get a bunch of dies from Princess Auto when they had a sale. So they had, you know, all these fancy ones, and they're all stainless. So these things actually held out really good from the fire. The other ones though, man, it's like we cleaned them all, but you can see they're I don't know, whatever happens to this stuff when it goes into a fire does weird stuff to them, but we'll have to clean them up again. But at least we're just slowly progressing to get this thing all together here. What I have, and I'm going to try and experiment, is for a power feed, I just hit this Beaver site or whatever they are, and I grabbed one of their power feeds for a mill. I'm hoping I can make this work. If not, it is what it is. I'm hoping it has enough power. That's the big thing. If it does, then that would be great, because then all I got to do is somehow adapt this thing onto here. And I should have variable speed. I'll just kind of hook this up to a pedal. Oh, it even has a limiting switch. Oh, it's kind of crazy. Yeah, I don't know what any of that is, but I never really looked at it. It was very cheap, and I was hoping that it's got the torque to be able to power this thing. And yeah, like I say, there's a speeds thing on it somewhere on the side or something like that. I think there's a speed. Yeah, right here. There's a dial. Anyways, if it works, great. I'll go through it. I don't know what else we got. For updates, we got, I don't know, my lathe. I got this little nook. Don't know if I mentioned that. We put like mini bike up there. So we got storage. We cleaned up our motors till I need them or want to look at them. I don't need them on the ground, so we kind of dumped them up there. I got all the bracing done underneath for the, I guess I'm going to call it a loft. I don't know, the upstairs. So we got all of our cross bracing in. I just got to cut the wood now and properly fasten basically the floor down. Well, I can take you up there and show it to you. So it's slowly getting a floor up here yet, and then just working on getting a whole bunch of big windows. I just want a whole lot of windows up here. And then I think we're just gonna hit up our Kijiji or Marketplace, and probably, I think the way I want to do it is just find a set of French doors for right here. So if I want to do upholstery, I'll just boom, boom, 2 doors. I can drop a seat or something and not have to carry them up the stairs. Seeing how I have that most useful unit ever. So yeah, I picked up a sheet of 16 gauge, which is right there, and I got to get some wood. I want to do some wood pattern to do the initial inside box structure, like face, so that I can, what we're gonna do, I plan to do anyways, is get that profile cut out of 16, and then I want the bead roller to tip an edge, and I'll use some lighter gauge steel. So I don't know, maybe it can actually, well, I won't have enough with that sheet, but I was gonna use like 18 gauge or something for the top lip, and I want to tip it so I can weld it to the other, the backing, I guess, so to say, that sheet. I'm just rambling now, but anyways, I'm gonna get back to building my bead roller here. It's just a bunch of welding. I don't know if I'm really gonna show you guys, because it's really, you can go check out Karl's video and it'll be there. I'm kind of just motoring my way through, trying to get her done quick, and then I can move on to some more fun stuff, I guess. Not quite enough torque. Can't quite get the turn right. There we go. Definitely asking a lot out of this thing to get that bend. Other than that super sharp curve I'm trying to do, I need this to do my flange on the box, so I think this is gonna work. I have worked at this thing all day. It works. It's just not quite that powerful. I thought this motor being like a power feed would have more, but I guess it'll probably had a different gear ratio or something like that. It works. As you've seen me before, it'll do it. Eventually I think what I'm gonna do is I'll use the motor because I can do it with a foot switch to turn it on and off. I think I can actually control, well, on and off is all I care about. But this thing does have like a forward variable speed. But just doesn't have enough torque. Then we can go reverse. It's got a forward, reverse. Does have like a, I guess that'd be like a rapid on a table. Anyways, I had to do a bit of goofing around to get this thing to fit on. Not really going to show it because I'll probably be cutting it all apart anyways. I'll probably get this set up. I'll mount it down here. I'll just do a chain and sprocket. I'll have to build this thing into some kind of a jack shaft somehow. So it's a bunch of work. Don't want to mess with it. Should do what I need going forward when I work on this thing and do the side. Like the goal I want to do is I'm going to take that 16. We're going to make the side sheet. And then I want to roll an edge on there, kind of like this, that comes up to here. And hopefully I can do that all right, where it can lip over and then we can kind of like weld from behind. You know, because then that seam over there can come just butt up against here. We can zap it from behind, kind of just do a little something, and then it's like done. At least that's my brain thought on it. I don't know. But anyways, we at least have a bead roller again. That's the nice part. Everything seems to do everything I needed to do. I scavenged and got my fence to work off of my old Meidel Brothers one, so we got that one. We got our dies, but I'm thinking somehow we lost a few in all of the cahoots with the other shop there, but whatever. The most of them are here. I seem to have lost this really deep one, but we can make new dies. That's not a problem. This is a pretty standard setup now, so pretty happy with it. I'll scuff a little bit of paint on there later. We'll brush some heavy coat on there so it don't look all funky like that, which I usually don't care about, but in this case I do. right, there's something to be said about brushing paint on stuff. My goodness, one coat, that thing has got more paint on it than anything I own, eh? Runs the galore, but I think we have about the same amount of paint as a ship on there with brushed on paint. Anyways, that thing is good to go for now. I think next thing I want to tackle is my louver press. Want to hit this thing up. This thing's pretty bust. I went to Princess Auto. Can't remember, I got a 4-ton. I don't know. Maybe that won't be enough. I had a 5-ton on here originally, or a 10-ton, but we're gonna swap that out. I basically want to cut all of this off, and then I had an arbor press that I want to use. Is it an arbor press? I don't know. Princess Auto had one, and then you could mount the dies on. So the reason the way this die is, it's just ground. That's all I did. Piece of steel stock and a grinder, and I just made it. It could louver, and if I wanted to do a hood, I would just take this die off and I can spin it around, and I can finish the back of the hood the other way. I had like an air over hydraulic jack like that, and it was mounted up here, and then I would just kind of do my thing. Anyways, this round I have a longer hose, so my idea is I'm going to do this cylinder. We'll try the 4-ton. If it doesn't work, I can switch it out and put a 10-ton back on, but have a longer hose, and then I can run that thing with my foot. That would be super nice. And then this time around, I'm going to have like tons of different dies for it. This one, I only had this one size, which is like 2 or 2.5 inch or something like that. Unfortunately, all my dies were in the fire, so hopefully I have all the bits. Let's see. This is the big mess that I have to go through. So we'll see. I gotta figure out what's what. Hopefully all my bits or dies are in here. That'd be really nice. Ooh. Couple. Well, at least one bead roller. Yeah, I probably don't have everything, but I should have a bunch. So a few are better than none. So anyways, we got that. And what else? What else here? Not sure. We're gonna clean that up. The other thing I would like to get to, but I don't know if I will this round, is my big King Kong bandsaw here. This was an auction find. I think I paid just $300, somewhere about that for this thing. I'm just gonna convert it to steel. By that, I'm just gonna put a steel blade in it and slow the beans out of it. It had a big 5-horse on it, and I'm gonna run this thing, which I think is just a 1-horse, but it's 3-phase. Yeah, just a 1-horse. But it's got a gear drive on it, reduction, so I got to build an adapter to go onto there. I do have a VFD, I was just going to run it. I have run it and tested it on there, so I know that works. So the way the motor went, this is gear driven, goes into the housing like so, and then had a plate that bolted on so you could take the motor running off. So I was either going to make a new plate like this, but if this is steel, I might be able to add to it or do something. Because I do want to be able to bolt it, so I might have to come off of this plate. But anyways, this is going to go on. Said motor is going to go on the back, and then I got the VFD. This thing's already like runs pretty slow. I can slow it down with that, and hopefully this thing can turn into a nice steel cutting saw. Would be ideal. Just the ultimate table depth, everything. I could have actually used this thing doing my bead roller. Anyways, oh, I know what I was going to show you. The press that I was going to use. It was actually on that stand that my iron worker was on, or my bead roller's on. I used to sit on there just because I was to get it out of the way, but this is the thing. It was at Princess Auto. You can get different bits for it, but it has the dies go on the bottom, and then it's just like a regular, you know, like an arbor press. So I'm just going to modify this thing so I can put a ram on it. It'll pull itself back up. This thing is perfect for everything I want. So I'm just going to cut the head of this thing off and mount it on my louver press. That's my plan anyways. Anyways, first things first, I am going to strip all the garbage off the other, my louver press, and then I guess we'll start fitting that thing up and see how things are going to fit. All right, well, we cleaned it up a little bit, so we'll just demonstrate the manual version of this thing. Yeah, I gotta be careful here. I used to have a rubber bump stop to stop it because you can push too far. Definitely got to figure out your depth. But it works. Well, we know it works. You can see I had a piece of like rubber in there. I had it doubled up because it's pretty easy to overshoot these louvers, and that's what it does. It'll tear things. So, looks like I have all of my dies still. And the way these work is you have, well, this is like, I don't know, something, it's similar to the Meidel Brothers thing, but this was something Princess Auto was selling a while back, so a feller could do small chunks of louvers anyways, but the dies and everything were there like as a combo kit, and they were like blowing them out. So I bought all that they had, and it goes, I don't even know, like tiny, up to like, I think 5-inch or something. Which tells me that 4-ton ram that I'm going to use is too small. I'm going to need a 10-ton if I want to actually try to do like a 5-inch louver. Anyways, this thing came with, it's got this lower plate and it's reversible. Same with the top. And this thing I can mount anyway, sideways, you name it. So that kind of makes it infinite once I mount it onto here. So my plan is I don't need the handle. I want to use a ram to push this down. I just gotta, maybe I'll have an arm on here with a spring. So when I release it, it'll pull this thing back up. But as long as this bottom plate is here and there's some adjustability to get your dies all right, I think this should work pretty easy. We basically just cut the head off of here, and then this thing will cut the base off of. We'll just remount the base on here. And hopefully this doesn't stick out too far, but we'll stick the ram on here. You can see I had to beef this thing up like crazy because it does flex. So I can't imagine how this thing's going to treat a 5-inch louver, because I was only doing whatever my, oh, this is my die that I was using. You can just see it was just a slab of steel that I cut, and then I welded a thing on there, like a stop, basically. Oh yeah, that's what has on there. I'm missing the stop. I didn't bolt that on. I have the louver, but I didn't finish putting this on. There's supposed to be one of these on the back side here yet. So basically when it bottoms out, or is it on the front side? I think it's on the front side. So between louvers it'll flatten out the steel. Anyways, I had made this thing and a simple slide and then a die, and mine was reversible. So if I did a hood or something, I go in and I wanted to go a little deeper, I could take everything, flip it around, and then just finish my hood out that side. I guess the guy could have gone sideways, but I don't know. It was just built out of junk, so the idea, like I said, cut this, put the ram on top, and this makes my life easier because we have all the proper dies. So we have, like, I call them the modern style, like the flat louver, newer ones, and then the old style. I like, just hoping these all clean up really nice because they're pretty gnarled. I mean, that one went okay. I want to sort of sandblast, but I don't know if I want to sandblast the cutting edge in this because we're trying to not bugger the ends up. So for round dies, we have all the way from, I don't have a tape measure here beside me, but 1, 2, 3. We got 4 of the roundy style. And then from these square style, we can go from 1 inch. Then I think this one, and up to that. That's just a monster. Pretty sure that's 5 inch. So, yeah, that's what we got. Anyways, I guess I'm gonna pull the handle off. We're gonna bust the grinder out. We'll cut the end of this thing off. This is one beefy frame. Too bad, it's just not big enough to do anything. But I'll cut the beefy part of this off. Part of me almost wants to just sink it into here so I can reuse this doodad that I had. And then I had that big, I had a 10-ton ram in there. I bought a 5-ton, or sorry, a 4-ton porter ram. I don't think that thing's gonna have the gusto. Anyways, this thing was pretty simple. The ram just sat in here and was resting up against there, and then it would push down. So I think we're gonna kind of mirror that process somewhere in here. I'll scab that thing on. Let's just cut it up and we'll see where things fit. Well, out of sheer laziness, I have this old plasma I was trying to use. It's a 50 amp unit we had from the farm, but that thing may as well have used the torch because I struggle. It has a hard time starting an arc and doing whatever. And this one's on the plasma table, so I'm kind of always having an issue. But anyways, at 40 amps, let me turn this thing off. At 40 amps, that thing does such a cleaner well cut than this thing could ever do. I don't know why. It's because it's on the plasma table and I'm lazy. I don't want to pull it off and hook up. Not that it's that hard to do, it's just a cable. But anyways, I should have done it first round. Would have saved me some grief, but I guess it's just a super nice cut, no? Anyways, I'm gonna do one more cleaner cut down here a little bit, and then that way I don't have much to grind. I want to basically either I'm gonna switch this around or I'm just gonna mount it right onto the front. Like it should work onto the front. If I zap it there. I'm mixed on that. Yeah. It's just a lot of bulk. We might cut away this so that the head, this head here, is flush with where I want to put the ram. I want the ram, the head dead nuts in the middle there. And then still be able to put this arm in so I can run, this thing's just gonna run my spring. That's all it's gonna do. I'm gonna clean this up a little, and then we might sink this into here. Depends on the bottom. I'm gonna cut this bottom plate off yet. And then I think I can cut these screws flush and we can just lay this straight onto the other plate. This thing's actually doesn't have as much throw as my old one. We'll cut some stuff and then we'll template it up super quick here and see what it looks like. Well, we're all rigged up full manual mode, so we'll see. This is like some ducking, so. But I feel we may as well try it, see what it is like to try to do a full 5-inch louver here, and how much flex we get. A lot. Oh my goodness, eh? I don't know. Oh, I don't know. That whole sheet metal dealio is going to be the max there. Oops, went the wrong way. Alright, see here, see if we can do 2. Not on that piece, we're not. Holy. This thing's really going to be doing 5 inches. Just does not seem doable. Holy, eh? That's asking a lot out of that baby. We may not be doing 5-inch louvers with this thing. I mean, maybe with a ram. I wonder if my 4-ton fits on here. Boy, that's a lot to ask out of that little one, eh? Is 4-ton enough? Well, I see what's happened. My dies went out of shape here. Our cutting edge is not very good. That's why I was buggering up. Well, let's see if I can do this spring load dealio on here. All right, folks, it seems to work. I think you can, not the prettiest setup. We're going full 5-inch. I don't know how well this will be. That is 5-inch. I'm sure that's 5-inch. Yeah, 5-inch louver on, I think this is 18. Have a little leak. Not gonna happen. We got way too much flex in all of this. Let's clean up another set and we'll try some 4-inch. See if it's capable of doing that. Survey says we're going 4-inch domed louver this time. I think we could go more. Guess that's the end of that one. It's not bad. They're not as rounded as I normally have. My old one had a more roundness to it, dome. But in the end, it is a louver. That is a 4-inch louver. I kind of like these better than the other ones. The other ones are kind of flat. I call them more of a modern style louver, I guess. We should try a few of those. We'll try the 4-inch die, because I know the smaller dies it'll have no problem doing. These are, I wish they'd have a little more domey to it. I don't know if there's something I can change or set down here. Kind of seems what it is. I guess the 4-ton seems to work though, because my thing over flexes before it matters anyways. Well, I switched out the die. I figured we should try the square one first. The square ones are the tough ones. This is what I call a modern louver. That is violent. What I gotta do is, that's where I had that rubber in there, because you can see there's a little bit of this flat, but it kind of domes out. You'd probably get a nice crisp line along there if you stuck like a rubber tire inside of there. Okay, let's switch this out now. All right, look how much easier a louver, domed one is. Well, there's your different style louvers. Look at that. Wish these ones had a little more pronounced to it, I guess, but whatever. Cool. Well, that tells you how much force that takes to pop a louver, eh? So all of this stuff is built out of like heavy stuff. I think these upper tubes, these are all 1/4-inch tubes. This back beam is actually like a tube, but it's 3/8 thick. And then we have that girder underneath there, and it's still bowing the spine. So I don't know what else you do. I guess from here, a fella can do another triangular wedge, but it just is what it is. I can't do 5-inch louvers. It's not the end of the world. I don't even really. I would like to work these a little more, just so either they can go down deeper. Maybe that's what a fella has to play with. It just doesn't have the dominess like the one I built. See how these ones pop out like a shoe cap? I like that style. This one's a little meh. I mean, it works. These have more of a pronunciation to it, I guess. Here's what I'm trying to explain. You see how the edge of the shoe has this little square edge on it? If I put something in the bottom of the die, like inside here, somewhere I actually had one, but I had like a piece of rubber tire or something in there. When I pressed down on it, this edge went all the way across, like it had a little tip to it. Anyways, I gotta clean all these up, but at least I have a lot of the stuff. Like, I think everything is here. They're just a little munched. So, I mean, that's cool. I got what I got here. So we can go from 1 inch with the square ones up to 4. But you can see a flat die, man, that thing takes a lot of effort to pop through, at least at the 4-inch realm. Man, what's the next step? I guess I just brush this thing off, slap another coat of paint on it, like so. But I think for now, this thing actually just works and it's done. Maybe we'll do a bit of louvering stuff onto here, I don't know. But at least it's another tool in the arsenal that's kind of not, well, eventually. It won't be rusty. I have to make some more braces. What I had, these were, if you're doing a hood and stuff like that, this thing, it would help you support the thing. So you kind of, I don't know where the other part is, but it kind of went out and I would just use it to hold things while I was working on it. Because sometimes a hood by yourself is like hard to hold and things. This definitely works a lot nicer than that because I had a little arm off of there and I would pull down on an arm to punch. So that frees up both hands. I just don't really like the release. I'm just not used to it. I got to get rid of the locking part because if I hold it, it just locks it and it wants to go up and then it takes a while to go down. But with that said, I'm actually impressed with the 4 tons enough to do anything. I'm sure the 4 ton would do the 5-inch. It's just my frame still is not strong enough to do that. Even a 4-inch louver, it struggles with those flatter ones. I'm sure 3 and up, it wouldn't be a problem. It'd be about the same as a 4-inch. Anyways, I've been messing with that for a while. I'm going to go inside, grab a bite to eat, and then, I'm not looking forward to it, but I guess we wire brush it. This is something I probably could sandblast, but I don't have, there's nothing open right now, being the holidays and stuff, but alrighty. Yeah, we'll get back at her. Well, we've been cleaning up the dies. A few of them haven't cleaned up very well. They're pretty pitted. I don't know, I guess they'll need to be resurfaced. The cutting edge still is there, but it's pretty pitted. I don't want to grind it. I'm gonna wait till, like I said in the past, I've ordered like one of these laser machines for cleaning rust. So hopefully that actually happens and comes through. And we'll try it on stuff like this here and see if we can save this stuff. Other than that, most of it cleaned up pretty good. Like I say, some of it has some pitting, but I'm not gonna take it to a grinder or do anything. Just wire wheel is what it is. For now, I don't need a lot of it, but I'm just gonna pickle everything in some WD or something like that, and then we'll throw it in the can. Just so, I noticed the tool steel doesn't rust as bad as like regular steel, like my bench here, things like that. But anyways, I still want to pickle everything. We'll throw it in there. We got a good coat of paint on that our press, so that thing is good to go. I think next thing I want to do is try to cut down a way to get that gear on that motor, and then we'll try to cut a plate and see if we can actually make that thing work. I think I've been working, I don't know, 4 or 5 days on all this. The biggest win is the bead roller. Even though it doesn't work 100% the way I want, it's gonna work for the next stage on my truck here. Well folks, upon doing some editing, I'm realizing this video is kind of carrying on. We're gonna have to stretch that saw over to another day. Possibly we'll sling it together in a different video. Hopefully we get the my iron worker working as well, and I think that's about the only thing we really have left to really get going. We did do, like, we got our louver press, and now we got a bead roller. Yeah, I think that's, between that and that big saw, that's about the only 2 things we got left to fix from the fire. Well, that's all right. We're halfway there with the iron worker. I have some video in the past that I'm gonna goulash together at some point, but yeah, I don't know. I'm happy I got this thing going, even though I don't really need it. I'm more pumped about the bead roller. It needs a few mods yet, but we'll get to that at some point. For now, it's usable. That's all that matters. It just got to take more passes. I've got a foot switch coming, so I can turn it on and off. But I think future mods is going to be pulling this thing off, putting a jack shaft, and then running a chain from the gear down, and have this thing just sit a little lower. But well, it'll do what I want at that point. Then I should have a lot of torque. That's the big thing. Anyways folks, I think that is where we are going to leave this one. Next round we're going to be back on the truck, because now we got the bead roller, so we're going to try to figure out the sides, build the sides for the box and stuff. That's the goal. Anyways, as always folks, I want to thank you all for watching, and we will catch you on the next one. Later.